Let me share with you exactly why beginners are failing in their vending machine business and what's currently working in 2025. Now, the main reason why people fail in this business is because they struggle to find locations. Finding locations is the bread and butter and the backbones of this business in a whole. If you don't have a location, you can't put a machine. If you can't put a machine, you're not going to make any sales. So how do you actually go around finding the right locations? Well, firstly, you need to identify the problem. You need to identify what you're doing wrong that's not allowing you to get the locations that you're looking for. Then you can work backwards and find out exactly what is going wrong in terms of when you're trying to acquire these locations. Now, the first thing is, what are most people actually doing and what are they doing wrong? Most people, they're cold calling, they might be sending some emails, etc., etc., but they're seeing no success. It's no after no after no after no. Now, essentially, you have to change up your tone. You can't be a robot. People will see through that. Even smiling when you're calling and standing up will definitely go a long way in terms of people realizing your tone and the energy that you bring to a call. Now, you don't really want to be over energetic because people are going to see through that as well and they're just going to feel like you're there to sell them. But you need to have the right script and you can't call like a robot. Now, additionally, you have to be speaking to the right person. Because if you're not speaking to the right person, who's going to be making that decision? It's not going to be the receptionist. You need the decision maker. And lastly, you have to be targeting the right businesses. I see this so often. People are targeting the wrong businesses and they might even be able to place a vending machine in there, but they place a vending machine and it doesn't actually end up working. And that is happening is because they're targeting the wrong businesses because they don't know the actual metrics and statistics behind actually a good location and what makes a good one and what separates it from a bad one. Now, before I go any further, if you want to avoid all these problems, because as you can see, they all link back together, go down below, book a call in with myself, and I will give you my free scripts and also share with you what makes a great location. Essentially, we'll build a roadmap. And if you want that extra help in terms of starting and launching your business, then I'll be there to help you every step of the way. In terms of what you have to do, you have to reframe the opportunity at hand, right? Because you can't just go through the same thing and the same motions. You have to remember, you're not actually pitching and selling these guys on the phone there and then. You're looking to book in appointments and meetings to actually speak to decision makers. And additionally, you have to remember the number one thing. You're offering these guys a benefit. You're not selling them a machine. That is not what you're doing. The machine and the service and all of that sort of stuff, it's things that you're going to be covering when you're there pitching. And essentially what this is going to allow you to do is have a unique angle, because the person that is going to pick up that phone, they're not the person making the decision. It's just a subjective opinion, not based on any factual information. So what you can do is, once you get that appointment in place, this will then allow you to come in with a unique angle. But then you're probably thinking, okay, that sounds cool, Arrow, but what about locations? How do I know which ones to target, call, etc.? Now, you will get no's, okay? I want to fully be transparent with you, because you will get no's. This is not an easy business. You have to be resilient. But the way I like to think about it is, these contracts, they're not 3 months, they're not 6 months, they're not 2 days, they're years. So if you get one yes, then you're going to not only be making income just for that first 6 months, that first 9 months, you're going to be making passive income for the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever it may be. So one yes actually has an amazing return. Now, in terms of getting that location to say yes, which you need, because like I said, you need to reframe that opportunity, you have to know a few things, right? Because when you're targeting these locations, if they don't have these 3 key factors that I'm about to speak through, then there is no point even picking up the phone and wasting your energy. I'm going to be completely honest. Now, the 3 key features that have to be all aligned for you to know that this location, where I'm going to be placing this machine, is going to actually be worth my while. They need to have a high footfall. Now, I've covered this before and I'll briefly go into it, but you need to have minimum sort of 60 to 70 people in a building. The more the merrier, the less you don't really want to sort of get into anything less than that. You need to have low competition, so make sure you're scouting your locations appropriately and you're doing your due diligence, which I'll speak about in a second. And the last thing is it needs to be accessible, and I've even left this out, but it needs to be convenient. Because if it's not convenient and it's not accessible, people are not going to use that machine. So it has to tick all these 3 boxes. Now, you have to do research. Sorry that I can't spell, but you have to do your research. You have to do this to the T, because these are just a few things. These are not all the things that you need, but these are the minimum requirements that need to align. There's a lot of other metrics that also need to come into place. You need to do your research, and I'm going to take a moment here and tell you about one of my most recent mentees. His name is Anis. He came onto the program, he worked with me, he had no prior experience when it came to vending machines, and he was able to secure his very first vending machine location in only 4 days whilst working with me. Now, that does not happen due to luck. It happens for him taking action. And if you want to take action, there'll be a link below where you can apply to be mentored and coached by myself. And this is going to allow you to build a passive vending machine empire. Conducted your due diligence and you've done your research accordingly, then this is going to allow you to understand a much better perspective of the businesses that you need to be calling, okay? Because you still need to be calling, you still need to be emailing, and you still need to be going in person. These are things that are compulsory, but you have to take the right angle. You have to be there with confidence. You have to have the right scripts. And like I mentioned, if you want to gain all of them, then there's going to be a link below. But what is actually working in 2025? Because all of them things, they worked and they still work, but you'll find out that there's a lot of these locations that might already have a vending machine in there. So how are you going to be able to go in there as a brand new business and pitch these guys that have had a vending machine in there prior? Maybe they've had a good experience, maybe they've had a bad experience, you never know. But if they have a vending machine in there currently and they have the box standard things, how are you going to take that unique angle? And what is actually working in 2025? Now, I'm going to be very honest with you here. No one's talking about this. Smart vending. This is where the money's at, okay? Absolutely no one is talking about this in the UK. And there's a very good reason. It's because they don't want you to know about this. They want to take all the money for themselves and just input these solutions in directly. I am hosting a webinar on the 14th of June, which is completely free for you to come in and actually understand how smart vending machines work, what they do, how you can utilize them, what software do they use, and most essential thing is how you can make money from these vending machines that are smart. If you don't want to miss out, then there's going to be a link below. Just go on there, sign up, find out all about the smart vending machine stuff, and I will catch you on the next one.